Marcus Smart going to the Lakers. I actually like that signing. I don't
I do
think
too.
a earth-shattering signing. I think it can be a big deal. I believe they lost out on Drew Holiday, which is why they transitioned to Marcus Smart. But before we break down the signing, one thing I stood out to me is he said Luka. Not
I got
LeBron.
an answer to that. I
Not
got an
LeBron.
answer to that.
Well, I know you got an answer to that, but I don't have a question to that. I was like, wow, Luka, not LeBron, Luka. I find that
whose
interesting.
team
What
is
say
it?
you?
You don't think that LeBron and Luka had a conversation about the transition of the face of their franchise? Like Bron knew when they traded for Luka that he was on borrowed time there, and that's why they've been rumoring him to be on the trade block and talking about he might want to be out and all this and all that, because he knows it's Luka's team now. Everything they're doing is building for the future, not building for the now. If they happen to get guys that can help them now, great. But at the end of the day, they're looking to build around the guy who's going to face that franchise for the next decade, which won't be LeBron James. And as great as LeBron is, as good as he's been to the city of LA, we're not going to act like he's not a plus 40-year-old man out here still running around playing ball and may have a year left. So, yes, it's going to be up to Luka, because Luka's the one who's the offense is going to be orchestrated around moving forward. Luka's the one they're going to be building out how they want this franchise to look and face it and who they want in the locker room with him. And I always go by the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So I think that Luka reaches out to Marcus Smart, because Marcus Smart had the third best defensive field goal percentage against Luka in his career with a minimum of 30 attempts. So if he says, if I can get a guy who made it hard for me to score off my team and make him a guy that becomes an advocate for me, that's one less guy I got to deal with who can actually help our locker room and give us some defensive prowess. I mean, he really hadn't replaced Alex Caruso, who was a defensive miser when he left a few years ago. And Marcus Smart is gritty enough. He's hungry enough. And I think playing in a city like LA is good for him at this point in his career, because remind you, he was in Boston. He's won. He's seen what winning looks like. He can come back here to a winning franchise and say, hey, I can add something that might be able to help us get deeper into the.
I was just surprised because one thing we rarely hear about, and we kind of Kobe was the same way. He didn't hear about it until after he passed. We don't hear about LeBron recruiting a lot of players. We don't hear that, especially since the whole Big Three
champion. Well, that was the last time he really did it.
Yeah. So to hear that Luka was the guy that represented, that was the player that reached out to him, was kind of a big deal to me. And you said it signifies a shift in who the team belongs to. More importantly, it signifies a shift in who the Lakers are looking to, because they asked LeBron to do these things, and we don't know if LeBron declined. We've heard reports, but we know it didn't get done. The fact that they asked Luka to do it and Luka did it and it got done, it just tells you that as an organization, they've not only moved on from LeBron, they've moved to Luka basically to drive their franchise, because nobody really likes Pelinka. No one says Rob's my guy. You don't hear that. You don't hear that anywhere. So they don't have a voice. Magic was the voice that got LeBron there and was supposed to get Ty Lue there and got Anthony Davis there. Rob is the guy that makes all the moves that no one likes. So that stood out to me. On the court, Marcus provides a defensive intensity that they don't have. I don't know if it would be a defensive productivity we don't have. That's the thing, because they still got Gabe Vincent, who I don't know what his struggles were.
That man played like 4 minutes last year.
As I said, they definitely were struggles. Nunn never what was it? Kendrick Nunn never really got anything done. So he's not even worth mentioning, even though I mentioned him. So it'll be interesting.